Hi, my name is Grace Suden. I graduated in December of 2024 at University of Montana with a Bachelor's of Geosciences. I am working at GSI Environmental Inc., which is a consulting firm. We work with a lot of mining companies here in Montana, which is not true for some of the different offices all around the U.S. I am currently working with a mine in Idaho along with most of my coworkers, trying to keep heavy metals out of the waters and making sure it doesn't reach our waterways. I started applying for jobs earlier as my last semester was coming to an end. I was having no luck. I reached out to my mentor and I realized that my resume was very underwhelming to competitors and different people. And so we were able to build that back up. I was able to get it out there within the last few weeks of graduation. And as I started talking to people, talking to other managers, I ended up coming down with 2 different offers, one in Missoula and one in Great Falls. The interview processes were very different, both online and in person. So it was different on how to come to a realization of what I wanted to do, going from in person and not really knowing the company to another company, going in, talking to people, being able to create more connections before even getting an offer. So I came to the conclusion that the one in Missoula was best for me, and it's been great so far. I think my favorite experience was going on the field trip for Geosciences. It brought together a bunch of people that I'd had in these classes that I never had the chance to connect with. And all throughout that week, being able to talk with different people, interact with them, doing the things that we love. And then by the end of the week, coming back and everyone in the classes were just so much more familiar with each other, creating more connections, going out and doing things with more people than I hadn't before. So I think that was my favorite part, was getting Geosciences all connected and leaving here realizing I had a lot more friends and allies than I did. I think the most valuable class I took at UM was the field methods class in my last semester. It was a class full of everything. We had tool tests, map tests, knots tests, being able to learn more in the few months than I had, I feel like, in all of Geosciences about the field. Going in and doing a different kind of field test each week, and then the next week doing a different kind of lab work and report, which just made it more easy to get a job at the end where I had already done and touched on most of the things that I now work on. Geosciences was something I did not know was a degree. I came in thinking I needed to be one thing and realized after taking Geo 101 that my passion was not in the right place. And so going to this program where you're learning so many different things, you should be enjoying it and loving it and being able to go in classroom and in field and feeling like something is clicking. And I think that's the most valuable advice, is learning what you want to do at the beginning or the early stages. College is the best time to be able to explore, and then you can get out there and do what you love rather than struggling up until the very end and realizing you don't like what you do.